Hello people, it is a very good week this week. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has finally been announced after a few very long years. It all started in 2019 when the Nintendo E3 decided to announce the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We were told that it was in development, but after some world-altering events and delays, we finally have a fully developed trailer for us to enjoy. Now with this video I'm going to be showing and breaking down as many details as I can find, such as Easter eggs, secrets, and potential leaks, which probably won't occur because Nintendo is very secretive, So this video is going to be in extreme slow motion, and as always we are greeted by the friendly Nintendo Switch logo. And here is where we start to hear a tiny glimpse of music, which gives away that this was the Legend of Zelda trailer. Anyway, I have also watched a lot of other videos, so this is kind of going to bounce off of their collaborations and all of their ideas. So first we're greeted with this bunny-eared statue thing. I had no clue what this was at first, but later on I'll explain. I'm pretty sure this could potentially be Hylia, according to many other theories. Then it slowly zooms in on this Bokoblin and Moblin war. It would appear that the ground is made of malice because of all the red and the dark colors, but if you look to the left, you can see what might have been the Hylian army. And also, if you look really closely, in front of the Bokoblins appears to be what I think is Link, or some version of the hero of Hyrule. Either that, or it's just a random soldier or captain who's leading the charge against the Bokoblins. But yeah, if you look at the bottom, you can also see the same thing as well. And then it slowly fades out once again. In this next scene, we are greeted with a much further zoom out of the previous thing. And this actually has a lot to unpack. There appears to be droplets, or as many other YouTubers have said, tears surrounding the strange bunny masked thing. But also, if you look to the left, you can see that there is secret writing that we have always seen in almost every other trailer. Now, this hasn't been deciphered yet, as far as I'm aware, but there is big potential here for some sort of written code or hidden message that we probably won't discover until a while after the game's release, but it's a start. Also, you can see that the figure was floating on an island, and around that figure seemed to be 7 what I think are tears, which would explain why it's called Tears of the Kingdom. And it could be similar to a lot of the other Zelda games where you have to go and collect these tears, but I'm hoping that they do something more than that, because that would be kind of... Another thing to specifically notice is the number of tears that there are in this image/scene. There are 7, which happens to be the exact number of sages that help seal away Ganon into the Sacred Realm, along with the magic number of Hyrule, basically. So that could point to something, or have to do something with the theme or the plot of the story, which I wouldn't be surprised by, but that's just a theory. Next, we see what I think is Zelda floating in the air right above spikes of malice. She appears to either be unconscious or unwillingly floating, as this would not be one of her standard power floats, or whatever you would like to call them. After that, it fades out and then slowly fades back in to the same figure, who I believe to be Zelda, cupping hands with someone, with half of a tear fragment right above them. Also, we can see some of the same writing that we saw beforehand on the right side there, so that's also a thing. In addition to this, I see some Zonai-like structures to the right. It kind of looks like one of those pillars that you would see in the southern Faron region in Breath of the Wild, but it could be coincidence. After this, we finally get to see some actual gameplay. We see Link opening a pair of double doors with twin dragons on them, with also the same secret writing that we saw from before. Link is obviously sporting his new shield that we've seen in many of his trailers, along with his Hylian armor over the champion's tunic. He appears to be on a sky island with some tall grass or something, and then we get this beautiful shot of him sprinting and eventually jumping off of this platform. Behind him, we can see some yellow trees, some yellow grass. It appears that he has some vials next to him on his hip in place of the Sheikah Slate. And we continue to see more of these floating islands, a bunch of them possibly seen in previous trailers, all look incredibly interesting. Here we can see Link doing a new form of dive along with some air tricks, which if you check out some other videos on YouTube, there were some descriptions that actually predicted this before the direct actually happened because of certain legal patents that happened in America. But yeah, we can finally see the ground, and then we see Link using what I think is the time reversal mechanic to fly back up into the sky. And we can see this storm cloud with a little island right inside of it. I believe this is the Faron region because of all the palm trees, but that could be something else, although I highly doubt it. After that, it cuts to a shot of Link climbing the tree roots, and this is where I kind of want to slow it down. Link is not wearing his standard outfit, so this, I think, could potentially be implying that there are either two Links or two parallel universes or something. And then this shot right here has lots of goodies. If you look in the top right, you can see that there's a huge island floating in the sky, as well as the castle. And then you see Link jump onto this sort of divine beast, but like really small. It's like a paraglider. And then you can see a bunch of green markings on the ground. Another thing that a few other people have noticed is that the Sheikah towers are all gone. And then we finally get to see this fantastic moment where we all found out the title. Also, we can see these Zonai dragons circling around each other, which could potentially be relating to the theme as well. After this, it cuts to the logo, and we finally see in the background that Zelda happens to be with the bunny figure, and above that is two tears, so it could be saying something. Going back to 2019, do you remember the Bokoblin Moblin mural? I think that this frame right here in the Legend of Zelda sequel Breath of the Wild trailer from a long time ago has to connect to that frame in some way. It might not be part of the same wall, but I do believe that Ganon is leading that charge right there. My reasoning for this is mainly because Ganon is one on a horse too. The background was the same color as Ganon's painting right here, and also just because that's what Ganon does. Well, thank you guys all so much for watching, and thank you for listening to my theories and whatnot. But yeah, if you guys noticed anything, let me know in the comments. I can't wait until May 12th, 2023, and yeah, that's going to be really exciting. Hopefully I'll be one of the first people to actually get to you guys about it, but since I have recording issues and stuff, that might not happen. But yeah, I hope to see you guys later, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.